For me, the most iconic photograph ever taken of Derek Jeter is also probably one of the goofiest. He and 4 other young shortstops of the time gathered in a rooftop in Miami in February of 1997 for the photographer Walter Yost to take a portrait of them. This was, of course, not just any portrait, but the famous shirtless shortstops portrait, which they've all got their shirts off, they've all got kind of goofy smiles on, they're all wearing gold chains. In one respect, it's a funny shot here, 17 years later. But in another one, it's kind of poignant, because up front you see Jeter and A-Rod side by side. This is when they were best of friends. Yost told me that after the shoot, Jeter actually stayed behind in Miami to hang out with A-Rod and play basketball. That's how genuinely close they are. Obviously, in the years to come, things changed. Jeter followed the path that everybody thought he would and is now retiring as an all-time great. A-Rod, who if we remember had the same profile as him at the time, obviously has had something very different happen to him. It's a great photograph to look back at and laugh, but it also really makes us think about the nature of youth and about how much things can change over the course of many years.
Let's go back to October 1996. The Yankees broke their World Series drought, and Derek Jeter, as a rookie, is a key player on the team that would really be the start of the Yankees dynasty. He's a 22-year-old kid. He is just as fresh to that stage as anyone almost ever has been. And yet on the other side, Andruw Jones, a 19-year-old outfielder for the Atlanta Braves, starts to make the World Series his own by hitting 2 home runs in Game 1, an incredible performance. And what I'll always remember is after that game, reporters, media, TV, going up to Derek Jeter in the clubhouse and asking him what he thought about Andruw Jones's performance. They were asking Jeter not as a 22-year-old, not as a fellow fresh-faced postseason rookie, but as someone who just seemed like he had had a world of experience and could talk about what it was like to see such a callow young kid such as Andruw Jones excelling on the big stage. It said a lot about the way we perceived Jeter even when he was a very young man. It makes perfect sense now, but at the time I think it says a lot about the way we perceived Jeter even before we knew he was going to become Derek Jeter.
Having had the opportunity to be around Jeter a number of times during his career, what always impressed me the most was that he was never impressed by himself, and I had the occasion to be around him at a number of moments where he could have, if not gloated, certainly reveled in the moment a little bit. And I think the closest he came was after he got to the 3,000 hit mark in July of 2011. He had come off the disabled list right before then, was trying to do it on a Yankees homestand before the All-Star break. He had had what for him was a very down season in 2010. He was in the first year of a new contract that had had some really contentious negotiations, and he kind of admitted that he was pressing a little bit. And it was rare to see Jeter kind of admit to feeling pressure or even being aware that there was any pressure. And it kind of was ironic in that he would feel the pressure and then respond in the way he did, which was to not only get the 3,000th hit, but what people might forget is that he went 5 for 5 that day and also picked up the game-winning single. So you have to tell people, wait, there's more to the story. It's not just that he made the great catch, it's that he injured himself while doing so. It's not just that he made the great flip play, it's that he had the presence of mind, to go after the ball in the first place and then flip it as far as he did. It's not just that he got 3,000 hits, it's that he got 5 hits that day. So kind of a perfect encapsulation of Derek Jeter. Whether he was feeling the pressure or not, you could never tell. He just went out and performed every single time.